My dear beneficiaries and members of CSI Trust Association having its administration and offices at Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. Dear friends, some of the members of CSITA are rejoicing at the fact of the judgment of the Supreme Court of India dated 2nd May 2025, which is based on facts submitted by the petitioners to the Supreme Court of India. It is unfortunate that the petitioners have not submitted true facts and have suppressed material facts on the administration affairs of the Church of South India Trust Association, which is a company registered under the Indian Companies Act with the Registrar of Companies at Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, white PAN card number AAA T0642D, which has its registered memorandum of articles and articles of association, which is the constitution and bylaw binding all the 24 dioceses of the Church of South India Trust Association, based on which the company called CSI Trust Association must be run. The petitioners have hidden these facts to the Honorable Supreme Court of India, and thus the opponents will have their way if truth is not produced before the Supreme Court of India for necessary action. This partial judgment is not anything to rejoice in toto. Yes, Dharmaraj Rasalam and bishops have no power, but then the judgment says that the election of the Diocese Synod Council is valid. The fact is, as per the orders of the Registrar of Companies, Chennai, on the October 7, 2020, Synod or its officials cannot hold or administrate CSI Trust Association, the company. The other fact is, the moderator is only to join people for meetings and conduct evangelical activities. The moderator cannot be elected as a director of the company, because most cases in the past, the moderators have been clergy or bishops who are class 6 and 7 employees of CSITA, and as per Memorandum of Articles number 4, employees of CSITA cannot hold administrative positions. Moreover, we have to understand that CSITA, the company, can only have one company secretary and an honorable financial secretary. Diocese wise, the company cannot have treasurer and secretary, and treasurer and secretary of the company have to be elected by 3/4 majority of the purported 60 lakhs members of CSITA. Now when we say 45 lakh members are there in CSITA and 60 lakhs members are there in CSITA, it makes no sense, because it is a random data. Official data of CSITA beneficiaries and members has to be recorded and submitted to the court with details like the data of PAN card, Aadhaar card of each and every member, so as to ensure that there are 45 to 60 lakhs definitive members of CSI Trust Association. In this case, we have to also understand in various places there are people who converted from different religion backgrounds and are availing OBC and SC/ST quota of the Hindu religion and also utilizing the benefits of being members of the church and CSI Trust Association. This kind of activity is a fraudulent act and is invalid, and such members of CSITA do not have beneficial rights or cannot claim themselves to be members of CSITA. Moreover, the government is coming up with a caste census which will cleanse out all this casteist activities happening in Church of South India Trust Association. Once a Christian, there cannot be any caste or creed, because God does not have caste or creed, and the episcopal law of Christian faith does not permit casteism in the Christian community as a religion in practice. Another aspect which we need to consider is how certain people claiming to be synod officers are operating CSITA bank accounts and signing without being validated under officially being elected by 3/4 majority of CSITA members. This kind of activities is encouraged, unfortunately, due to lack of knowledge or maybe due to ulterior intentions by few nationalized and privatized banks. These kind of bogus bank accounts need to be closed. Another aspect is certain people who have amassed wealth in holding official positions in CSITA have a lot of businesses and investments in Dubai, as they have transferred money through Hawala transactions to safe havens and even to UK, which is a tax haven. This needs to be investigated. The final aspect is the question of what happens to the dead people who were ex-bishops and who had amassed wealth by selling properties held by CSITA. As you are all aware, CSI Trust Association is a company which is a property administration company which administrates properties of missionary donated properties. CSITA is not an owner of any of the property it administrates. In one such situation, the United Basil Mission Trust Association properties in South Canara and Coorg, the matter of contention of administration is pending before the Supreme Court of India in SLP 13670 of 2012 till date, in collusion with few people from claiming to be Basel Mission, but in collusion with CSITA employees, not CSITA beneficiaries. In such case, the beneficiaries of UBMC Trust Association, the properties held by CSITA, the company, are definitely and inter alia beneficiaries of the CSI Trust Association holding on to properties which are owned by UBMCTA. In such situation, we are going to take action on these aspects. In Karnataka as a whole, we start with, wherein certain retired bishops and ex-bishops who in collusion with one another have amassed huge wealth, and if the dead people are dead and gone, we have their families and their generations alive to pay a price, as we as beneficiaries of CSITA are entitled lawfully to attach and apply lien on the properties and businesses that they enjoy to be paid back to UBMCTA, or in certain cases where CSITA is administrating the properties legitimately, the money has to come back to CSITA accounts and distributed to the beneficiaries. In the second video, we will be talking about how do we proceed further. Please share this video to all CSITA beneficiaries, pan India, pan South India, and please feel free to contact me at 6369 1979 33. Patience is bitter, but the fruit is sweet. So we need to patiently work towards winning the cases by producing material facts to the Honorable Supreme Court of India and the Madras High Court, and get desired results. We should not suppress any material facts like certain petitioners who have done in the past for shortcut and their individual gratification. Thank you one and all for hearing this